back to Danford Golf. Today we are going to really break down the takeaway. We're going to talk about what the takeaway, what the arms, what the body needs to do, some of the faults that we see and what those faults really result in your golf swing. All right, the takeaway is really the building blocks of our golf swing. So if it starts to get off in the beginning, it can really kind of make our swing a little bit shaky. And this way we can make it a lot smoother if our takeaway is really good. So make sure you subscribe, hit that button down there in the corner, give us a like, leave us a comment. If there's a video you'd like to see in the future, you can leave that in the comments also. Or if you have any questions, we try to get back to those as soon as we can. So make sure you talk to us there. All right, first we're going to talk about the issues when our takeaway is a little bit off. So, first issue, well, let's talk about what a good takeaway looks like first. First good takeaway is we like to see the club head hide the hands when the club is parallel to the ground, or the club can be a little bit outside or slightly inside. All right, little outside is usually what we consider perfect. All right, chest is turning, hips are turning, we're in good shape. All right. One common swing fault is the idea that we're having a perfect takeaway. So we set up to it. All right, I'm gonna have a perfect takeaway. Tilt my shoulders way down, all right, and my hips have slid. So now I've got a reverse tilt going on and my hips are out of position, my weight's probably out of position, but my takeaway looks really good, all right? So sometimes something looking pretty isn't exactly what it should look like, all right? So you can always check that if you just put a club right on your belt buckle, take another club in your hands, and if you think you're taking that perfect takeaway away, and you see that tilt, my body starts going that way, my hips go that way, all right, then you need to rethink about what you're doing with your takeaway, because you're going to have lots of issues, especially back problems later on, and you're going to spray the ball left and right because your body's seeing, basically bouncing back and forth, trying to get you back on plane. All right, that's one fault. Fault number two is I've got a really good hand path, but I push the club behind me with my wrists. All right, so right now that club, the ball wants to go that way just because the club usually indicates where the ball wants to go. All right, you can also save it, but all right. And then from there, if I just lift my arms up to the top, which most of us do, now I've got the club across the line. Okay, so I've got a flying elbow, which again, I don't care about that a whole lot. You can have a flying elbow and still play great golf. Ask Jack Nicklaus about that. But now the club is indicating that it wants to go that way. So I've got two options. I can do a Matthew Wolf, who's extremely talented and is not exactly on our level that if you're watching this video, all right, and drop it way back down. But what most of us do is we come down like this. We've got a cupped wrist, we come down steep, we spray the ball right, we hit big slices. And the start of it was because the takeaway caused a big issue. Another common takeaway issue that leads to problems is our hand path is inside and our club path is inside. Okay, so we've done a great job turning our chest, which is really a big key in the golf swing. But now your hands are going to be kind of low, which again is okay. Matt Kuchar plays good from low, but most of us from there, we try to create room, so we bounce that club out in front of us again and we get steep on it. Okay, so those are three kind of common issues that I see a lot in takeaways, right? So this is what you're going to try to do. First key is we've got to let our hips turn, we got to let our chest turn. Okay, those are pretty key. All right, I don't want to see somebody pushing their arms across their chest just to think that they're getting into a good takeaway position. Hips turn, chest turn. Okay. The next move from there is what your right arm does. I want your right arm to externally rotate a little bit. Okay, so this is internal rotation, this is external rotation if it does opposite. Okay, so the right arm's going to externally rotate a little bit because that helps keep the club in front of us, so it just slides back a little bit. Okay, if I internally rotate it, we've got that issue again, right? Okay, so externally rotate it, and now the club's out in front of us. It's basically club is pointing at us rather than out there or any other weird place. So we got it there, and then from there you're just going to turn and set to the top. Okay, there to the top. And so that is a very simple fix to our takeaway. If you get a little confused, think about hand path stays in a box, all right, and keep that club head out in front of you. okay? Because from there, if I lift and take it to the top, all right, at least my club is going to be aimed either at my target, or it might be laid off and going a little bit to the left of the target. It's much easier to recover from here than it is to recover from there, okay? So that's a simple fix for some takeaway ideas. The right arm key is really big for you because we have a lot of guys, a lot of gals who do that, who internally rotate and get the club deep, and then they try to throw it back on top. So I hope this video helps you. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a like, and we'll see you back here in a few weeks.